Mr. Eker, I just, from a personal perspective, have to shake the hand. I think you've personally transformed my life, as you have many, many people, and it's a privilege to meet you in person. But I mean, I really want to talk about the stuff that you're doing, the Millennium Mind Intensive, the book. I know you're going to be, when is it, just in the beginning of August? You're going to be doing the 3-day Millennium Mind Intensive?
9 to 11 in Johannesburg.
I mean, this is, I think we've been promoting on the site already, so it's really great. But tell me, my thing with entrepreneurs, because we deal mostly with business owners, you always talk about the blueprint, which is something that really sort of struck a chord with me. And I'm finding that people seem to have blueprints at different levels. Is that often the case? Like people sort of get to a certain level and they get stuck, and then they get to another level and they get stuck. Is this something that you see commonly amongst people, as opposed to just having one blueprint? The entrepreneur wants to go a little bit further but still hits the ceiling?
Yeah, that's a really great observation. So basically, you have what we call a money blueprint, a financial thermostat. It's probably an easier way to look at it. So, you're set for a certain level of success, especially financially. And by the way, we have blueprints in all areas of our life. And what's the blueprint? The blueprint is nothing more than your conditioning, what you're programmed to be like. Really, people are more like, we're kind of like robots, actually. Kind of programmed to think a certain way, therefore we act a certain way and we get a certain result. So what happens is, with different kinds of triggers and conditions, people will maybe think a different way, and then they'll get a bit of a different result. What we do very radically different at the Millennium Mind Intensive, we actually change people's financial thermostats for extremely high levels of success, very high. And we work on a cellular basis so that the change is permanent. And when we change people's blueprints with certain processes, exercises, it's not a yakking type of seminar. We actually are working right there. And we can really do in 3 days what most people could take 50 years to try and do on their own.
Yeah. And so you're trying to lift people right up. You want to break the ceilings completely.
We don't try to lift them up. We actually change the wiring.
Yeah.
So we have these things called dendrites, or neurological pathways in our mind. Okay? And the information that's stored in our mind gets sent through those pathways. The pathways that are really thick are the pathways that are our habits, our normal ways of thinking and being. Those are the ones that for most people are very non-supportive to success and wealth. The ones that are supportive are little tiny things. What we do is we shrink these big ones and we grow these ones.
Yeah.
So that it's much easier and much more normal. Like the question is, for all of your people, how would you love to be the kind of person that your natural and normal way of being is wealthy? Yeah. That's normal for you. You think like a rich person just normally thinks. A rich and happy person, and that makes a difference.
Yeah. And you've been doing this for how long now, Tio?
24 years.
24 years, and it comes from the background of your own experience and realizing this is something you overcome yourself, and now you're out there sort of, you've trained and worked with over 1.2 million people around the world.
Over 1 million people. I spent 14 long years struggling, in business especially. And I had 12 different businesses that didn't work. And you work with entrepreneurs, which is my passion. And I made a big mistake during those 14 years, but I didn't know it at the time. They say hindsight is 20/20. But I believe that my success came from the external world. I thought that if I just get in to the right business at the right time, it's on trend, it's happening, people are making money with this, if I jumped onto that and I got some decent business skills, I would be rich. I was wrong. That didn't work.
Yeah.
Because the problem in that equation, it was if I had the right business at the right time, if I was in the right bit, was the I part. See, I wasn't the right one. And the way I knew about this, see, I didn't know this at all. And the way I found out was the hard way, because as I said, I had over a dozen businesses that didn't work. But I had a friend, a close friend, who got into a business, was doing incredibly well, told me about it. I got into the same business. And guess what? I didn't do well. Yeah. And it was the first time I actually knew somebody who was in the same business and killing it, and I was flailing at it. And all of a sudden it was like a mirror, just a sledgehammer. Wow, it's not the business, it's the me. So I started working very heavily on me, on my own belief patterning, on my own ways of thinking, on what I thought was, my thought processes. And I'll tell you what, everything began to change. First slowly, and then very quickly, and it's never stopped. So now, I am adamant about sharing this with other people because I know I teach business seminars all the time. And there's always the people who take the information, the business information you teach them, and they skyrocket. But then there's the other people with the same information. What happens? Nothing.
Yeah.
And that's because you can have the greatest tools in the world, but as I say, if you have a little leak in your toolbox, you've got a problem. So now we work on the inner game of money and success. And when we blend and combine, when you blend and combine the inner tools with the outer tools, everyone's results go through the roof.
And I think that's the key thing. I mean, it's like I said, it's profound. It's what I love about you and what you do is the simplicity, rather than trying to create this huge sort of, or you just deal with the primary factor that is holding 99% of people back.
The root cause of financial success, mediocrity, or failure. And I want to say one more thing for entrepreneurs. I just started doing it because I've kind of kept it in my pocket for a long time. But in countries that are developing countries, we just came from Poland, which was a communist country. We're doing, Berlin was communist. For those people, I started doing this section at the Millionaire Mind, which is called How to Make a Lot of Money. Okay? And it's talk about simple, but really this is the guts of how to do it. It's very, very simple, but man, does it ever work.
Yeah.
And it's specifically perfect for entrepreneurs or people who would like to be entrepreneurs. Because people have made money so complicated. I don't know why, but I'm just going to share a little bit of it right now.
If Richard's good with that, because he's wanting to interrupt us, are we good?
Sorry? Yeah.
Okay, great.
Ask a question. Ask a question.
Yeah. I just want entrepreneurs to know, number one, you're in the right place at the right time. But it has to be the right you in the right place at the right time. Number two, why I say that is because the definition of an entrepreneur or a person in business or even a person in a job is a person who solves problems for people at a profit or for pay. So what are you? You are a problem solver. The biggest mistake almost everyone makes in the world of business and finance and money is they go out and they look for opportunities. Bad move. Go ahead. What's an opportunity? How do you know? It's almost impossible to find, right? So don't look for opportunities. Look for problems. Look for problems. Solve a specific problem for a specific person. Duplicate that. The end result is rich.
Yeah.
If you want to be rich, don't focus on money. Don't focus on rich. Focus on solving a problem, a specific problem for a lot of people. The result, rich.
Brilliant. Jeff, we're going to see you in a few weeks' time. I can't wait.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
Experience.
thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.